Today, essentially what I want to go over, guys, is the Founder OS code. What is this all about? Well, I've been reflecting a lot on what principles have made me successful over the last 18 years, building multiple eight-figure companies, the kind of stuff that I see in the kind of mentors that I have. I was just on a call a couple weeks back with Ryan Klog, who's doing about 100 million a year, and Neil Patel, who's doing about $70 million profit a year and has been for the last 20 years. And these are the kind of principles, if I was to distill it into 10 things that I seek to live by. And I'm not saying it's always easy, but it's the stuff that I kind of use as my North Star. And it's the stuff that as a community here inside of Founder OS, I see like the most successful founders I work with living by. So I want to get into these and I'm going to kind of speak to some of these as well as I go through them. So number one here, right, is really like moving like it's going to work out because it is. Now, what is this all about, right? Essentially, first things first is like when you're building any business, right? Like it's hard, right? And there's points that you definitely are going to doubt yourself, right? I think there's an aspect, say, when we're building content, right? Are you someone, I was just on a call with a founder and she had mentioned that she was making authentic content. And then some friends went to her and said, your content doesn't seem like that solid anymore. Like it seems like it needs some work. So she stopped making content and then took a break from it because she wanted to figure out how to make authentic content and then would come back to it. And that's an example of exactly what not to do, right? I think that the process of creating great content, finding more authentic voice and putting yourself out there is a process of brick by brick, just like carving out your voice, carving out your style by just being confident, not stopping, pushing daily. And over time from the shipping, the iterating, you then hone in on your core voice. It's not from like sitting on the sidelines or, letting that voice, that insecure side of your brain get to you and cause you to, not show up. Right. And so this idea of also as a founder, like trusting your judgment, right? I see it all the time where founders are like, should I do this or this, A or B, C or D? And it's inevitably like, well, what do you want to do? Like imagine a world where it would all work out, right? That whatever direction you went in, you would be really successful. What would you want to do? Right. And then go do that thing confidently, knowing that like, if you put your all into it, you put the energy into it, you stay consistent with it, you will be successful. The second piece here is like keeping it insanely simple. Now, this is a thing that I live by in my life and in my business, and it's a continual practice. Okay. We live in a day and age where some bullshit gurus will try to convince you that, you need to go and have all these like crazy complex funnels and these crazy complex businesses. And my belief is oftentimes like it can be really damn simple, right? Pick one platform, pick one offer, right? Pick, one lead magnet even to start with, and just stay consistent with your content and just push people through that core flow, right? When I first started Founder OS, it was Founder OS program, one offer on Twitter, and got that to $50,000 a month, right? It wasn't like some complex system in place that I needed to get up and going, right? I didn't have 10 offers. I wasn't on 5 platforms. I started just super simple and scaled up from there. Now, I think that all businesses, mine included, they default to entropy. They default to complexity. So it's also a continual practice to get it back down to simplicity. Over the last 6 months, I've implemented a bunch of skills, a bunch of Claude Code elements, dashboards, different automations in my business, and cut around $670,000 of headcount, right? In the name of keeping things insanely simple. Because the last thing I want to be running is a complex company with 28 humans. My dream is really to have 12 core humans on my team, a 70% margin, and a business that I love, working with people that I love, and be able to have like true freedom, right? Controlling the 4 W's in life, working where I want to work, with who, on what I want to work, wherever the hell in the world I want to work. The next aspect here, guys, is doing the work. Okay. The only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. Okay. And the reality is that it's the work that matters, right? And so all the systems, all the, different automations or, different lessons we go over, these things are all for nothing if there's not a real degree of work going in on the background there, right? And so, For me, the core, like basically domino that I can do every single day, right? That's going to help me go and get to where I'm looking to go is 4 hours of founder flow. In fact, that's where I'm at right now, right? In my cafe right here, in my same spot every day. This is where I post up every single morning. It's about 8 a.m. right now in Bali. And this is my routine. Got my iced Americano and, my notebook and checklist of the things I want to get done today, and here I am just posted up and I'm just going to go do the work. Right. And this is, rain or shine, not feeling good, feeling a little down, feeling great. I tweaked my neck the other day doing some Muay Thai. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to be here showing up, doing the work. Right. And I think that the same goes for you guys, right? It's like that just kind of chop wood, carry water mentality, right, is a key aspect to like the compounding, right? Especially early on, right? Like early on when you're building something, you need to just get that momentum going. You need to kind of like get that snowball rolling down the other side of the hill and turn it into an avalanche. And the way to do that is just to put in the reps. Next aspect here is like protecting your nervous system. Okay. Inevitably, it's like removing shit people around you, removing shit influences around you, removing things that are fucking up your sleep, right? Like taking care of your body, of your mind, of your soul, right? Because if, strong founders build strong businesses, right? And if you are letting things around you, whether it's like late night television or a coffee that doesn't allow you to sleep because you're drinking coffee at 5 p.m., or it's a shit person on your team that's really just aggravating you, or it's brutal customers that despite making some money from them, they're just like wrecking your week and like ruining your happiness. You gotta really, like, at the end of the day, I was talking to a founder just yesterday. He had just crossed a new milestone, making about 500 grand a month, but he was unable to sleep all weekend because some of his marketing he was putting out there, he was worried that it was uncompliant, right? And that he could get in trouble with the government because of what he was putting out there. And I called him up because I could tell he was really stressed. So I called him out of the blue on Monday, like actually 2 days ago. And I was like, hey, like, what's going on? He told me what was going on. And I was just like, dude, like, what is it even worth whether you're making $1 million a month, 3 million a month, 10 million a month, if like this is how you feel, right? Like the money's not going to make you more happy, right? We got to solve this marketing thing because at the end of the day, real wealth isn't like what your bank account shows, right? It's peace, right? And peace, to me, one of the best metrics for just peace is quality sleep at night, right? And so really optimizing a business for like, not growth, not just cash flow, right? But like, what is it that actually is going to make you happy, that you can be proud of yourself and look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day when maybe you're brushing your teeth and go like, you know what, I'm really proud of what I'm building here, versus something that like, you're just like, that's killing you. Next aspect here, guys, is staying focused and staying lean. I think that the kind of community that we're building here at FounderOS, right? We're not a bunch of people looking to go and build some fucking unicorn, right? We're not looking to build 10,000 person companies, right? We are here to build like small, mighty, beautiful bootstrap businesses, right? So you have to understand them with that. Like headcount is some vanity metric, right? While we're here is like, you should first be asking, is your offer super dialed in? Do you have a platform that you're really focused on right now? Do you have content going out regularly on that platform? Week by week, are you finding more of your voice? Are you finding more of your own magnetism? Are you staying focused on the core, say 3 things that you need to work on right now, right? So on my list as an example, right? Today, I'm doing a bunch more of a scrub of like some stuff that we're doing right now to go and be able to sell more by chat inside of our funnel, right? So we're going to be moving a lot of our sales to say DMs and reducing the reliance on a sales team. It's a new experiment that we're doing. And I have been making this kind of like offer doc, which we'll use to send folks so that they can understand the details of velocity and a bunch of new updates that we have coming, which I'm really excited to talk to you guys about over the coming weeks. But essentially, like this document, right, is a big, important thing. And I've probably gone and scrubbed through this document maybe 20 times at this point. And today I'm going with my team and scrubbing through it 3 more times, literally line by line, right? Because it's such an important thing I need to get done, because then it feeds all the different aspects of my business. And so that's just an example of me just staying radically focused on one core thing, not getting distracted with 20 other things I could be doing, and just not leaving today not stopping until, me, my COO, and my chief of staff have scrubbed every single line of that offer doc and feel good about it. Now, next thing here is building only what you can build. So, I've been doing a lot of, reflection these days as an example to show you guys how I think about stuff. I actually have a coach that you may not know, but I pay $20,000 a month to a coach named Dan. And we've been working a lot on creating magnetic content. So even me, after doing content for, technically it's been like 18 years. I've probably published across my business brands and personal brand around 37,000 pieces of content, not missed a single day in 18 years. Even I'm still like a student of the game, right? And trying to how could I make my content more magnetic? What's the one sentence that maybe I'm trying to get out there? I think one of the big things is your business should increase your aliveness, not consume it. What's the identity maybe I'm trying to really capture in my content? It's that people should be an architect, not an operator. What are some of the pillars of my point of view, right? It's like calm is the highest form of scale. Care is the ultimate competitive moat. What are some of the different arcs that I want to be talking about? It's things like screw the church of hustle, make art, not content, and the importance of owning the 4 W's in life. And so I'm constantly revisiting my content strategy, revisiting what we're putting out there, because I know that, when I go and say, look at the different platforms, right? And say I go to our Instagram right now, right? I know that when I invest in kind of thinking about magnetic content, think in the details, right? It's what ends up, producing content like this post that we put out just 4 days ago, right? This thing got it drove over 2,000 newsletter signups to Founder OS, 242,000 views. It had over 23,000 interactions on it, right? And my belief right now, guys, and I've spoken about this a bit on some of our calls, is that we're in this season right now where content has swung back to that people want to see raw, real rants, the triple R's. And what that means is making content that's really you, right? Just your edges, what I would call your wabi-sabi, right? That Japanese principle that's the beauty in your imperfection. So hence, I'm really trying to find even go deeper on what's my authentic voice? What am I all about? What are the things that make me different? And then vocalize these things, and also just kind of find that voice by just writing and pushing things and getting it out there, not by sitting on the sidelines or thinking about it too long. Once I've maybe made a document like this document that I just showed you, right? Then just experimenting with this shit, just getting it out there and seeing what stuff resonates. Some stuff resonates like this, some stuff maybe doesn't, like this one. And either way, though, the benefit is I learn, right? Versus the people that sit on the sidelines and just hope that someday their content gets magnetic. The next piece here then is making art, not content, right? Which is similar to what I just was going over, right? So the key thing here, right, is guys, sometimes you guys will ask me, Matt, should I make content like this? Should I make content like that? I talk to you guys a lot about the different formats that I think are best. The inevitable thing too is you've got to put stuff out there that you think is unique to you. What do you want to make out there in the world? How do you want to show up? The same way that you wouldn't ask me how to get dressed in the morning, right? Is the same thing. You have your own style. You have a fashion sense that speaks to how you like to show up. So yes, on Instagram as an example, you should have stories, you should have carousels, you should do short form videos, right? But inevitably, how you want to show up there is a mix of maybe being inspired by what I'm doing, but mixing it then with what's your authentic way of showing up? The last few here that I'll just kind of breeze through, right, are having high standards, right? My belief is that you get what you tolerate in life, whether it's a hire, whether it's a customer, having a standard for the kind of people you want to be around and not accepting scrubs, stragglers, pedestrians, and tourists. Really making sure that you hold a high freaking bar. I know the kind of folks that I want to work with, right? I want to work with founders that have high agency, are self-directed, right? Are willing to put in the work, that live by this code. I do not want to work with folks that are looking for a magic pill, are looking for me to do the work for them. I know that in terms of the team I work with, right? I want to work with a team of people that are independent, high agency, live by the Founder-esque values, right? Obsess around quality, keep things insanely simple, dazzle founders. I don't want to work with people that bring me problems, that bring me more work to do, right? That don't make my life easy. Which lead me to kind of inevitably here, guys, I think it's all about we want to have businesses that actually enhance our joy, right? If we're not laughing daily because we're enjoying who we're working with and what we're working on, something's freaking wrong. And I think that the last thing I'll say here is that, we talk about things like your content infrastructure, right? And a key part of that as an example is being lead magnets. when I think about all my content, the number one kind of principle that's allowing it to blow up, right? That's allowed me to build my own brand of 3.5 million people over the last few years is because I'm being generous in this content. We find out different systems. We learn different things internally, and then we're sharing that shit on YouTube. We're putting that in a lead magnet. We're making a tool for founders. Just this past week as an example, we went and launched a new tool that you may have seen called Henzo, right? Henzo is the product of how I've been going and creating my authentic LinkedIn content the last 12 months, helped grow it to over 900K organic folks. And we just put all that into a core tool that now founders can go use themselves. Right. So whether it's tools like Henzo, it's the updates that we make to the curriculum, it's the investments we make in the community, it's new team members we're bringing on board. Like it's all in the name of trying to be as insanely generous as possible. And it's a continual practice, right? Of how we can, what new curriculum do we need to add? What new systems do we need to give founders? We're launching a new software inside of Founder's Velocity soon called Founder Clip, which, is also going to be kind of like taking things to the next level in terms of like different skills and such to help you guys deploy these systems faster. So these are just some principles that I think are important to live by as a community that I see separate kind of the real ones and the founders that are super successful and build amazing businesses and lives versus the ones that, don't embody these and find themselves spinning their tires or wishing someone would just save them or looking to be rescued. And I think are important as you're like scaling up your guys' businesses. So leave it there. This is all kind of in the name of like architecting freedom and embodying this kind of architect identity as well, where we're building lives that are intentional and businesses that help serve us versus running businesses that just run us into the ground.